Alice, she has a bachelor in media and communication. Lena, she has a degree in law and international relations. Me, I have a passion for iGaming, and so do they. We all have worked beside each other for many years. Alice and Lena used to work for Mr.Green. Lena had been working for GIG. Me and Alice have been working at Dunder. What else do we have in common? We were young when we started, and let's say that we do not aim low. I had a wonderful conversation with these two ladies, and I'm really, really proud of their accomplishments so far. And I really think that you should hit the subscribe button and keep on watching and learn a lot from three ladies in iGaming speaking from their heart.
My name is Alice. I've been living in Malta since 12 years, and I moved here by not accident, but I just fell in love with the island and the school, and somehow my path led me to the iGaming industry, even though I wasn't planning to. I do wanted to be in journalism, but I quickly understood after doing an internship on a TV station that I really didn't, that was not for me. And then I had the opportunity to work at Mr.Green. And I think it was one of the most coolest experience, and I met so many incredible people there. And now I work for Playattack, and those past 5 years, I've learned a lot, and I met a lot of amazing people in the industry, and I'm actually quite happy I accidentally ended up in gaming because I wasn't planning to work in that field.
No, because as you mentioned, I mean, you studied media, you have a bachelor in media communications, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I also know that you came to Malta when you were very young, right?
Yes, I came to Malta when I was 15.
I didn't move abroad when I was 15, 16, but I did get my own apartment and I started to work. So I know what you're talking about.
As a young woman, I had many different jobs. I had waitress jobs. I was working in a lingerie shop as a sales assistant. I was working in a lawyer's office, and all these jobs, give you the experience of becoming an independent young woman, and appreciating every single job that you have, that is a little bit better. You started somewhere, and then every single job after that was like, like, wow, this is so much more fun, and you get those challenges. And I think that's very important to have those challenges in your life as a young woman.
100%. And you, Lena, you do have a background within law, right?
Yeah. Basically, my story is a little bit similar to Alice's. When I was 17, I left my parents' house to go and study at the university in the UK. That was my dream from the very childhood. And to be honest with you, I was always so in love with politics and international relations that I was pretty sure that I'm going to end up being a part of United Nations one day. So when I had to choose my degree, for me, it was pretty much very clear what I want to do and what I want to study. And I applied to the Coventry University, which was actually and still is one of the pretty good universities in England. And after 3 years of my studies in UK, I had the chance to go on Erasmus program, which led me to University of Malta. And that's why I came back. I graduated from UK, and I decided, okay, maybe I should try my best and find a proper job in Malta as well, which obviously in my head back then, it wasn't gaming at all. It was absolutely something related to politics or to international relations or diplomacy, since here in Malta they have a fantastic diplomacy school. So I was actually thinking maybe to continue my studies and go for the master's degree. But at the moment in time, it was approximately 4 years ago, the compliance already started to evolve a little bit more. So the new rules, the new regulations started to pop in, UKGC. And I was starting to think maybe I should try to combine my degree with the iGaming industry, which obviously was my main point of interest. And I got a chance to join GIG as a compliance manager, almost after 1.5 years of being an affiliate manager. So it was like a very sharp move from one department to a totally different atmosphere. And I spent almost 5 months in GIG. It was an incredible experience as well. And I learned so many things. Like, I'm still in my experience right now. I'm using the knowledge I got from GIG back then. Stayed there just for 5 months simply because I was understanding I didn't have enough communication with people, and it was a little bit difficult for me to just focus on legislation all the time. So I decided to move back to affiliation, and my next move was Mr.Green, where me and Alice met. I can definitely agree to what Alice said, that was the best part of my life for sure.
What would you say is like the most significant tool or I don't know, experience that you were able to grow from, and when you moved to Playattack?
Mm-hmm. Well, to be honest with you, I think Playattack is also a very, very new and very, let's say, unexperienced before environment within the iGaming industry. Because for me, I've never sort of worked for a proper startup where the processes are still a little bit like not in place, and where you truly can give a lot of from your knowledge for the company to benefit from you. And I mean, right now, since the company was operating in the iGaming world for quite a while, and I joined when they started their project with an MGA license. So previously, all our brands, they were only on Curacao, which is a totally different world when it comes to legislation and when it comes to how you perform things and how you work about them. So it was a totally, let's say, new swing for them as well, where I think that my knowledge in legislation, in compliance, in regulations across all different licenses helped a lot. And I mean, we have two brands within the SGA license as well, which we obviously know right now has a lot of different complications, and you really need to make sure that you're compliant. And I think for me, this is where I kind of combine both knowledge of affiliation and of compliance plus legal, because here, I mean, we are creating everything from scratch. It comes to the landing pages, it comes to affiliate contests, it comes to affiliate platform, which we actually Playattack is an affiliate platform. So I would say you can give that background of a proper compliant standard within the company very easily with your knowledge and my experience from the previous positions. So I think this is where I feel that, for example, I can give a lot to the company, and I can sort of share my experience and share my knowledge with different departments, not just affiliates, but also with the brands, teams, brand managers, I don't know, designers and stuff like that. So it's really, I would say, very difficult but very rewarding job.
What about you, Alice, of all the different experiences you had over the past years working as an affiliate manager for various brands and big companies? What is your most important knowledge which you brought to Playattack?
Biggest knowledge and experience that I got from working in big companies is that I had great mentors who have been in the industry for a long time, and going to conferences, watching them, how they have meeting talks, how they perform, how they make deals, how they do arrangements, and how these things work. I've learned a lot in terms of sales, and I learned a lot how to read certain numbers, and how to keep track of certain things, so that the company performs, and at the same time people come back to you and say, we want to work with you, we want to work with your brand. We don't know much about it, but we want to be on board because we know that you're part of this company.
Going from big corporate companies to a startup company, what would you say are the biggest pros and cons for you both? Let's say that we can do two each.
Mm-hmm.
You want to start, Lena?
Yeah, of course. I would say the biggest pro is that, for example, from my experience, when Mr.Green became a bigger company as a part of the William Hill International, it became more and more difficult to speak up, to raise your voice, to share your ideas of how you see things and how maybe you would offer to change something within not just organization, within the company, but in general, within the brand and stuff like that. So for me, definitely this is a minus, because I have something to share, and I think it's, for me, it's like very appreciated when I can speak up, when I can share my ideas, and when I know that those ideas will be heard. So I would say this is a disadvantage for me, that you lose sort of that opportunity of having your voice. On the contrary, for me, this is an advantage within the small startup companies. As I've said, for example, right now we are only starting to build things and build processes. So definitely you can speak up, you can advise, you can maybe use your previous experience you've gained from these previous companies and use it here. So I think this is an incredible opportunity, not just to grow yourself as obviously as a professional, but also to help a company to develop.
And you, Alice, what would you say are the biggest pros and cons?
So I have two pros. One would be the name, the company that has built the name in the, like, they already, those big companies, they have a name in the industry. So it makes your job in sort of easier, because in affiliation, affiliates come to you and they want to work with you because they know the brand, you know. So this trust, the trust in the brand is there. Your job is basically consists of accepting affiliates that come to you because it's that easy. They know the brand, they come to you, they want to work with you. So the past 10 years that the brand has been on the market is basically, it's already set, everything is settled. The con for me is that you work in a box and you cannot get out of that box. And you know, even if you are very ambitious, sometimes it's really hard to get out of that box that they put on you. You know, you're in that certain role, you have certain tasks that you have to do, and when you come with new ideas, is not as much appreciated as if a small company would. I mean, a small company would appreciate it much more than a big company, I would say. And I've noticed it many times that when you come with certain ideas, it's like, no, we will go the usual way. We will do it the classic way. And I think, because I'm a very creative person, I think that's a big con for me. And another con for me would be that management hierarchies that are built in bigger companies are very complicated, and getting things done in a big company can be very challenging, because there are many manager positions, there are many people in those hierarchy pyramids where you don't really know where you're positioned, really. And my favorite part is when they do this bamboo tree of who's the board members, and then the CEOs, and then the country managers, and the head ofs, and you know, then it goes down to the bottom. And I'm not really a fan of that, I have to admit. It's very unpleasant, in my opinion, to look at these trees, because you're going in a big company, you're going into this bamboo tree, and you're just like, who do I have to contact for this issue? I don't know. So it's I think that's a big con for me.
Now you have a pretty small team. You mentioned you're 8 people at the moment.
Yeah.
What is very key for your team in order to, be successful and setting these goals to become successful?
We are proactive in terms of helping out to different departments. If we're seeing that something is not working well, we're just stepping out of our, let's say, little department safe zone, and we're going there and we are trying to help, others. And I'm really, really happy about the people. And in my team, I think it's a great team. And I'm saying this purely from the heart, because we are all very motivated, and no matter what experience we have behind our back. I mean, I can see that, for example, both Alice and Nico, they speak several languages. Alice speaks perfect German. Obviously, she's coming from Germany. And Nico, he has Swedish and Finnish languages. And sometimes we just ended up being translators for our company, which obviously is not something we have to do, but just because we know that our work and our daily life will benefit from it, it would help us. So I would say this is the best, in my opinion, these are the best qualities that a person in a startup environment should have: to be very proactive, to be goal oriented, to make sure that he can prioritize your time, because obviously sometimes there's just a waterfall of different things from different sides, and you need to understand what to prioritize first. So I think, yeah, that definitely would help if you have all these qualities within a person.
Transparency is very important. We have to speak up whenever things are not going in the right direction, whether we have to solve certain issues, and we have to be honest with each other. And this is what I love about small companies, that you build something together, and it might be a hard trip, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And I think being part of something big is a lot of fun. And I'm happy that I'm in a team, or in a small company with a lot of people who have so many ideas. And you get inspired on a daily basis. And I think that's the most fun part about being in a small company, about having a small team. And we're just going to grow bigger, and we're just going to be part of that adventure.
So what would you say, or what do you think that men and women can do in order to receive better results together? What can we do? What can we learn from each other, and what can we improve in order to actually push each other and empowering each other?
I think that equality and respect towards each other is very important. And I've got weird comments in my career. I've got comments. I have to be honest here, because it's something that is heavy on my chest. I've gotten comments. Oh, you like to dress up, you like fashion, maybe you should be in that sphere. And I think that's very hurtful comments, because you want to be successful, and learn from other people. And then people judge you by the way you look, or by your interests. And this is not appropriate, in my opinion. And I just wish that there's just the same respect, as if there would be someone, if mutual respect, basically. That's just the main thing here that I want to want to point out. I think everyone has the opportunity to do whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah, and I mean, how hard can it be to give mutual respect?
Absolutely. And I think in Europe we're a little bit I mean, we do have it good here. It gets better, and especially gaming, it gets much better. And I see so many inspiring women in leading positions, so that makes me really happy.
It's more about the stereotypes which are there still, unfortunately, in the world, even in 21st century. And I know wonderful men, and I think we all know one. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name, but Jesper. I swear to God, he is just an incredible person. And I would never believe that a person like him would prioritize gender over your knowledge or over your experience, simply because this person is educated. He has certain level of respect towards people and stuff like that. So I would say people who are like still choosing gender over like your experience and knowledge, this is just people who probably don't have enough experience in their life, or how to manage people, how to respect people. Maybe they are not very social people, or simply they just don't have enough education to understand that this is not the case. Maybe it sounds rude. I definitely do accept that, but I think that in most of the cases, this is something that does take place.
Yeah. And sometimes I just wanted to add something. Sometimes, I've catched myself where I don't want to talk about my personal life at work anymore at lunch, because when you open up a little bit and you just want to be your true self and you show your personality, and people start um, to judge you and your lifestyle, and they try to add you, in social media, and they start to follow your life in certain ways, and then you appear as a totally different person in their eyes at work, and they start to treat you totally different, like, oh, she likes fashion, she likes this, she likes Instagram, and you come to work and they put this sticker in like on your forehead, like she's that girl who likes makeup and fashion and all these things, and you're in that box in their mind, and I catched myself when I was coming to work. I was like, maybe I should talk less about what I like to do in my free time. It's lovely to work with people who just accept you the way you are and the things that you like, because I don't judge anyone if they like to go drink in a bar every night, because this is what they like, and so don't judge me for me liking to dress up to work and admiring fashion and certain things.
Regarding like men and female working together, I think we still have a lot of things we can learn from each other, and that things need to be improved that we raised. But I also do believe that men have a very different approach when it comes to how they are handling partnerships when they walk into a meeting room. I believe that females are a bit more terrified in the beginning. I mean, I remember my first conference, thought I was gonna die, literally. When they told me like, go and speak to this and this person, and then there was another man next to me, and it was also his first conference, and he just walked around by his own. He didn't look, you know, nervous at all. So I think it's just a way how we portray each other as well. So I think
Yeah,
we need to, ladies, maybe we need to do things like this more often. Just speak up and explore opportunities and take some spotlight in order to feel more comfortable. And men should 100% learn to don't disrespect and treat women and men equally in those kind of business meetings, for example.
absolutely. Just don't put us in a box.
No.